The Love Life and Lose Weight podcast will teach you the art and science of changing your habits around food. If you know what to do, but can't figure out why you're just not doing it, this is the right podcast for you. I'm your host, Advanced Certified Weight and Life Coach Heather Beardsley. I've helped hundreds of women just like you figure out how to think and eat like a normal eater, lose weight, and love life on the journey to goal weight and beyond. Hi, welcome to episode 96. Happy New Year. Today we're talking about my system I use for sustainable weight management with my clients. I'm calling it the Integrative Weight Management Method. I just want to take a moment to orient you first to what we're going to be doing here on the podcast over the next few months, meaning January, February, and March. I'll be keeping the episodes a little shorter, super focused, and extremely value packed. We're going to be working step by step through the core concepts and tools that I use with my private clients, my complete system, if you will. And that's all inside the follow through planner. Many of you do not digitally plan, and I would like to share for you at least the high level concepts for how I teach sustainable weight management that has evolved over the course of 10 years, really. But everything is really crystallized for me over the past 2 years that I've been coaching and teaching and crystallizing all of my knowledge about what works. This is intentional. I'm going to be doing this for the next 3 months, not because I'm rushing and not because I'm wanting to do less, but I want to come back to the basics, and I want to make sure that you all have clarity about top level down how to think about sustainable weight management and going back to the core concepts that we know work. And I don't want to add any more noise or any more tangents until we go back to basics, if you will. So this is building a steady foundation together, one concept at a time over the next 3 months. No overwhelm, no pressure to do everything at once. So today's episode is where we start. Before we talk about goals, numbers, food, data, movement, planning, or any of that stuff, I want you to have a solid foundational understanding about how I think about how to get sustainable weight management. Most of the women I work with are not getting results because they don't care or because they're not trying. They're not getting results because they've been taught to approach weight loss in different ways that are restrictive, urgent, perfectionistic, and also disconnected from real life. For years, weight loss for all of us has been framed as a test of discipline and willpower. The dichotomy of good actions versus bad actions and how that affects the scale. And when we buy into that whole concept, every fluctuation of the scale becomes a judgment of self and a restrictive way of kind of bullying yourself into weight compliance. This creates burnout, not results. It creates a cycle of trying harder, getting exhausted, falling off, and then blaming yourself. So shaming and blaming. By contrast, how I teach weight management, this integrative weight management, starts from a completely different assumption. The assumption that we start from is your body is not the enemy, and all weight management should not require self-punishment or restriction. This is where the word integrative comes in and why I use it. When I say integrative weight management, I mean that we stop pretending that weight loss is just about eating less. And instead, we look at the whole system of you that determines whether or not we can change your body composition. Is it possible? Is it sustainable? So your complete system includes how you eat, how you move, how you plan, how you talk to yourself, how you recover, how you sleep. What are your habits around stress? and how much capacity you actually have in your life in the different phases of your life. And those phases can change day to day, week to week, or season by season. So, this is why integrative weight management talks to inner self, manage yourself. It addresses your nervous system, your energy, and how you relate to yourself and how you talk to yourself. So, we will be talking in integrative weight management about things like listening to your physical hunger and physical satiety cues. These are different than how you think about hunger and how you think about fullness. This is body-based hunger and satiety, or a satiety means a feeling of being complete or enoughness. We will talk about things like permission based eating instead of right or wrong actions around food. We will talk about planning and reviewing consistently without perfection. This is you staying right with what's possible for you given your habits right now. When you have mindfulness over what you're doing, when you make the unconscious actions conscious, you're able to really detect how you're able to slightly change how you show up in your habits with yourself. So, this is why we plan and review. It's not for the sake of planning and reviewing, it's to create mindfulness and consciousness. Whereas for most of us, how we show up around food has become so conditioned that it's automatic. So we need to interrupt that process by making it mindful. This is why we plan and review. We will be talking about things like prioritizing recovery, rest, and sleep as equally as important as movement, right? And doing all the things. We will be talking about supporting your nervous system, especially in midlife, because nervous system reactions change with our hormonal pulsing in our lives after perimenopause and postmenopausally. So this is just data driven and it's driven by science. We know things now about the midlife woman who is postmenopausal, how she reacts differently to fueling and cortisol and all kinds of stuff like that. So all of this is inside the planner, but I have extracted the core components of integrative weight management for you to understand. So you may want to stop the podcast and get something to write with so that you can get this for yourself, even if you don't digitally plan. Okay. Okay. Principle one of integrative weight management is to listen to your body. This means learning to recognize all body cues, but especially for weight management, physical hunger, physical enoughness, which is not the same as fullness. It's enoughness, which is satiety. Satiety. I'm going to be using this word a lot. Just know that it means enoughness. And also stress signals. How to know when your body is in distress, either emotionally, nervous system wise. Maybe you're low on energy. Maybe you're low on water. Maybe you're low on sleep. Noticing body signals and not overriding them is the key component to integrative weight management. It means that you no longer override body feedback because it's unsustainable. Weight loss is unsustainable when you disconnect from your body. Listening to your body feedback is a skill, and that, like, I teach it where you build it gradually through continued time and attention. So the more you pay attention, the more you will understand and be able to translate what your body is trying to tell you. So principle one is to listen to your body. Principle number two of integrative weight management is permission-based eating. It's a practice where you understand that restricting yourself, telling yourself what's good food versus what's bad food, creates inner rebellion. It creates scarcity around food, which increases desire around food. Permission-based eating is the antidote to over desire around food. The reason why most of us are overweight is because we are over consuming more fuel than we need. Why are we doing that? We have an over desire for it. Where does the over desire come from? It comes from thinking there's good food and bad food, which increases desire. These are just basic laws of economics, right? And how human nature works. So we no longer restrict. Instead, we choose to practice what I call permission-based eating. It means removing moral language from food, reducing urgency, and then creating enoughness, which is emotional satisfaction with food. Because when you know that you have permission to choose any food that you want, that there is no judgment around that, and you actually get into the arena and choose some foods that you have been formerly restricting, you start to see that the urgency around the food and the over desire around the food starts to decrease. And your emotional satisfaction with your choices around food grows. And when we have emotional satisfaction, it's easier to get to physical satisfaction. So it's not eat whatever as much as you want whenever. This is about permission to remember rule number one or principle number one, which is to listen to your body. So we don't throw that out. We eat when we're hungry, and we to eat when we're hungry. And we choose what to eat until we are physically satisfied. That's satiety. Knowing that whatever we choose to fill our bodies with, right, when we're hungry, and stopping at satiety should regulate our weight. And then there's also the experience of how food affects each person individually. That's individual as well. So permission-based eating is an art and a science, and we get into this in much more detail, of course, in my coaching. But you can definitely work with this as a concept and start to integrate permission-based eating concepts into your planning for and choices around food day to day. Principle number 3 is to plan and review consistently. Not perfectly, consistently. What we're trying to do is make the unconscious habits in your life conscious. The tool we use to make the unconscious conscious is by planning and reviewing. It shines a light of awareness around your habits around food, your habits around movement, your habits around sleep, your habits around stress. And planning and reviewing is the light of that awareness. You cannot change what you are not aware that you are doing. The tool to create mindfulness, where there is just automaticity in your habits around food, is planning and reviewing. It's not a tool that you have to use. If you can get to mindfulness without planning and reviewing, that's great. But probably 90% of my clients need to at least do basic planning and reviewing consistently in order to change habits around food. It also helps you to decrease decision fatigue every day, and so that your brain knows what your intentions are around food every day, which makes the work, the mental load of conscious choices around food easier for you long term. So that's what the planner is for. Okay. Principle number 4 for integrative weight management is to build and maintain muscle. This is not optional, especially in midlife. This is where I had to incorporate new principles into my weight management and how I coach weight management because of the new data that we have specifically for perimenopausal and postmenopausal women. I have spoken about this before. I can help you lose weight, but I'm not going to do that at the expense of your muscle, which is the organ of longevity, That is a scientific fact. Too many, especially with GLP-1 medications, are dieting, they're restrictive dieting through weight loss, and they're losing their metabolic vitality through too much muscle wasting. So, this is why this is not negotiable for how I coach weight management. You must build and support your muscle long term. It supports your metabolism, your blood sugar regulation, your bone health, your confidence, and your ability to maintain your weight long term. This is not training for extremes or training for capacity and longevity. And I have much more about this inside the planner. Principle 5, recovery is required. Rest, sleep, and recovery are inputs that are part of the system. These are not rewards or even optional. Without recovery, what happens is your hunger hormones and your satiety hormones get all fucked up. Your sleep will get messed up. Your cravings will increase. Your metabolism will literally downregulate and your progress will stall. So, recovery is required. We have to dial this in and practice this. Many of my clients are just not familiar with recovery, permission based recovery, right? We're just not used to it, and this has to change. We have to change how we look at recovery as a requirement. The bottom line is that weight loss does not happen in a chronically stressed body that has not had adequate recovery. Principle number 6 is you must support your nervous system. Stress management is weight management. When your nervous system is overwhelmed, your eating will become reactive, planning feels impossible, and your consistency or ability to show up for yourself will break down. So your self-compassion, your awareness over what kind of stress loads you're carrying is a functional part of being able to stay with yourself through the ups and downs of life that happen, of course, while we're trying to lose weight. And your ability to be responsive to those changes, have your own back, and adjust your expectations of yourself is essential. Okay. You have to support your nervous system. And finally, principle number 7, the last one in integrative weight management, is to adjust based on real life. Life changes, and your plan should too. Integrative weight management is flexible by design because this idea of perfect action is actually what causes burnout and opting out from the goals that are important to you. So, adjustments are built into the planner where you get to change your expectations of what you're doing literally day to day, week to week, month to month, and season to season. This is by design because how you do weight management has to fit the actual life that you are living. Anything else is just asking too much, and it's just unacceptable. So, when these 7 principles are in place and you really start like living them, and it's as easy to do when you use the planner because you'll see them seated all throughout your daily, weekly, monthly plans and reviews. Weight loss stops feeling like a battle. Your overeats become information. Your habit tracker is data, right? Planning becomes supportive and something that you want to do. And consistency feels like that grounding force in your life that I talked about, at the new year on December 30th. This is the grounding of the work in quotes that weight management can be for you. That's a positive in your life, a grounding force of you facing the day to day life that you have, having your own back, using that beautiful manager part of your brain to plan for what's important to you and what serves you, to plan for your needs to be met so that you are fully controlling these inputs that you do have control over. That's where we focus. that's where all of the juice in this lemon that we're squeezing, right, is all found, is in the day to day. So all of this starts to make sense inside this bigger system. And we will talk about next time setting up your yearly body composition and goals, because it's not enough to know, okay, how do we lose weight? Like, what are our principles? And I've gone over all 7 of these, but now we have to start drilling it down. Okay, what specifically are you trying to do this year? Are you trying to just primarily lose fat? Are you trying to lose fat and maintain your muscle? Are you trying to lose fat and gain muscle even? Right? What are your goals? Is it just maintenance? Do you want to keep everything the same? And based on the answer to any one of these questions, there are data-driven, like science-backed actions that will help you reach those goals. You need to make sure that you know what those are, because otherwise you're just literally spitting into the wind, hoping you get results. And your actions may not be aligned with those particular results. We have to start with the yearly body composition and goals worksheet inside the planner. I'm going to tell you what that is next time. Until then, stay focused, and so long. I want to let you know that the digital follow through planner is all new and improved, and it's out for the calendar year 2026. It includes many new updated worksheets, and it's a complete system to help you follow through and implement habit change and mindset work on your own at home. I created this planner as an implementation system for my one-on-one clients so that they could see the patterns that I see as a coach. Not only that, but it also includes my complete integrative weight loss system. Everything I teach you about how to sustainably lose weight without restriction is in there. And I know that since not everyone can work with me, I wanted to make the planner available to you too. This planner will change how you do goal setting. It will change how you do your habit tracking. And it's designed to be doable and flexible, whether you are primarily losing fat, if you want to gain muscle, if you're in maintenance, or if you're still in weight loss mode. This planner works for all of that. I'm really excited to show it to you. Go visit hbeardsley.com/planner and have a look. You've got testimonials there. You've got pictures of the worksheets. You have descriptions of all of the new stuff that I put in there to help you create a comprehensive system to help you follow through. I'm super excited and proud of it, and I hope you love it just as much as my personal clients do. Hey, if this episode resonated for you, then let's connect. Visit hbeardsley.com/subscribe. That's HBEARDSLEY.com/subscribe and become a VIP subscriber. You'll learn how to work with me. You'll get 2 free gifts, access to exclusive VIP content, and get a discount on the digital follow-through planner.